By the time I came to Cedarville, I had begun to hold very tightly to the lie, I'm not good. I'm not good enough. And there were a lot of things that contributed to that lie. A really big one of them happened when I was a sophomore here at Cedarville. I have made it clear that I wanted to be a teacher of children, right? And I made it clear that there was no question what major that I would be in and that I would graduate as an elementary education teacher, right? Well, the only problem was this little class called elementary math. And I got one solid, straight D in that class. Kids, we are talking fractions, addition, subtraction, easy stuff. And I could not pass elementary math. And it was bad. My advisor took me aside and calmly said, maybe, just maybe, this isn't the right major for you. I mean, if you can't do the multiplication, you can't teach the multiplication. And I kind of stuck my chin in the air, and I got a stiff upper lip, and I said, okay, well, I will go where they want me and need me, and off to the communications department I went. How much math could there be in communications? The thing is, even though I embraced it and I made big plans, those plans included that I would never be a teacher, that I would never teach children. Maybe I need to be in the corporate field because maybe I'm not good enough to be what God told me to be when I was 8 years old. Of course, the lie didn't really begin here at Cedarville because I know that it got a lot of feeding when I was 15 years old. You see, that's the year that I made a choice that broke my heart, and I gave away the gift that God meant for me to give to my husband, Bob. I gave away the gift of my virginity to somebody who is a perfect stranger to me today. And I got out of that relationship and I stood before God and I said, teach me to live a life of purity, but I never, ever, ever told anyone else. And I believe the lie, I'm not good. I'm not good enough. I resigned from teaching for Child Evangelism Fellowship. I resigned from my teaching position in teaching Sunday school to 3- and 4-year-olds. I pulled back from leadership in youth group. I'm not good enough. But really, I think if I look at my life, this lie began when I was in middle school, when I was probably 5th, 6th, or 7th grade. How many of you look back on those years with fondness? Boy, do we overtly tell each other, you're not good enough, over and over and over again. Whether it's always being the last one picked on a team at gym class, or whether it's not wearing the right thing, I'm not good enough. I began to believe that lie when I was in middle school. And, you know, I'm not going to fill in the blanks of step by step how God helped me to stop believing that. I'll say 2 things. One, I stopped hiding. James 5:16 says, confess your sins one to another, and then you will be healed. When I started to tell other people about not just my sin, but my fears and my failures, they weren't nearly as scary as I thought. There were other people who couldn't do elementary math. There were other people who had sexual sin in their past. There were other people who had survived mean girls and bullies in middle school. And the other thing that I really embraced, it's a verse in Colossians 3:23. It says, when you find something to do, do it with all your might. And I just started to live by the philosophy is when God told me to do something, I was going to go big or go home. If I was going to fail, if I'm going to really mess up here in front of you today, I'm going to mess up big. You're going to know it. And those two things have brought me so much freedom in overcoming the lie. I'm not good. I'm not good enough.